All right, why not? We've already just said just about everything else. I want to make sure that I feel empty, like quite literally, when I hit reset. Um, okay, so when I was 19, I rapidly lost my eyesight. I probably had poor vision before that, but I was raised in a house with a single mom who was addicted to drugs, and I was removed from the home many times because the roles were reversed, and I was placed in as a ward of the state and in orphanages and group homes and foster homes and what have you. And I went back home. My mom got sober for a couple of years when I was, I think, 16 to 18, something like that, 16 to almost 18. Excuse me, got itch. Anyway, I've been blind since I was 19. You know, I can see to function. I won't usually run into anything big, but I literally see no detail. I can't make eye contact with people, which is just a whole awkward experience. All of it is very clear on why now. But it makes me feel weird because sometimes I wonder, because my town is small, so I always get that weird little thought that enters my mind of doubt, thinking that people can see me and they might think that I'm seeing them, but I'm not. But there's been times where there's been actual interactions where I saw some people and they may have seen me before and they just didn't say anything. And that's wisdom too. Anyway, there's this thing I have in my field of vision that I've always had. And my biggest blind spot that I can identify specifically is my central vision. But it's not what people think in regards to a blind spot. And mind you, I know somebody else who's blind. And they see the same thing, but they have not unfolded the truth of that yet. But they will. I mean, they're already, you know, working in arts of divination because they can see clearly the truth. Let me get a drink of water here. But anyway, so in my field of vision, it's actually everywhere, but I think it's my central vision that kind of pulls it around back and forth as I'm looking at it right now. It's there when my eyes are open, it's there when my eyes are closed. It's a spinning golden light of rainbow pixels that are kind of golden. They spin in one direction in certain parts, other directions. It's multiple directions. I can't really make out a lot of details because there's just so many bright pixels in there. I didn't understand what that was for a long time, and the pieces that I've been putting together lately are just mind-blowing. They really are. Let's see. Let's just keep it in order the way that I figured it out. Okay, so I started looking into the golden spinning light. Well, not really looking into it, actually, which is the funny part. I just kind of ran into it and unfolded the fact that that's a vortex. You know, I looked up my Mayan astrology, and I am a white spectral dog who is also a cosmic portal and a blue monkey, but that's beside from the point. But that little piece and connecting that and some of the information that comes along with being a white spectral dog, like being a teacher and having the same energy as Buddha and Christ, you know, like, that's significant. Maybe just to me, but I don't think so. Other funny little part. I'm really into following breadcrumbs, and I followed the breadcrumbs into the information about fractals. And see, I'm weird. I hear things and it all comes back to the same story. It's like I can't help but hear the code in everything I hear. It's all saying the same thing, including the things that people think are like negatively oriented. At the core, it's still the same thing, you know? So in looking all these things up, I ended up running across some information about stargates. And mind you, the information that I look up is, you can look it up, it's, I believe his name is Dan Winters. He talks a lot about the science of the soul and the implosion of fractals to make our Merkaba, and the actions in life that it takes to do that, to actually fit through the eye of the needle, which is the allegory in the Bible that's talking about only light fitting through, and all the shadows that you practiced and embraced so wholeheartedly will just be here waiting for you. I don't know about after this time, because time is shifting, so I don't know what's to be of that, but that's not my concern. I'm just here to be me. So another little funny part about the whole little Stargate thing, when I realized that, and mind you, this is a connection I've made before, because I've known that I have been a light worker for a very long time, but I also embrace the dark, so there's that. That's what true light is. You know, you see the light in everything. Doesn't mean you need to mingle with it and make anything with it, but you do to a certain degree, just enough to identify yourself within it and find out if that's what all of the highest codes lead to practicing. Because all of the highest codes are saying the same thing. I'll just keep bringing it back there. Anyway, they gave my eye disease a name, and it was the last name of some gentleman that discovered it. And mind you, it's kind of a rare disease. It's a type of macular degeneration where it takes two negatives equaling a positive. Is that funny or what? It takes two recessive genes. This is, they're still researching this supposed eye disease. I think it's a gift. I think that anybody that has this supposed eye disease is someone else and here to do something else. I can only speak for myself. I know it is truth for my soul. There's no doubt in my mind what I am here for. The name of this disease is called Stargard's. It's spelled Stargaurdts. It could be Gardts. Either way, I am a Stargard. I am here working for all of the cosmos, including the Anunnaki. Everybody, all together, actually one. All the tools that people think that they're using to get to one are only creating separation. I am like a checkpoint to see where people are at. I observe, I analyze, I see what's what, and then that goes somewhere. I don't know where, but retribution has to be made, and the scales have to be balanced. Hearts have to be weighed, light as a feather, not stiff as a board. I'm here to make change. We are all hybrids of one kind or another, and all of us are going to recognize and realize that. And a lot of us are carrying some really dense, contrasting energy that actually has a face created by thought forms. Because all of existence was created with thought. All beings, all everything. I don't need to tie it all together. I don't need to see it to believe it, but I know it like I know it. And it has been revealed to me slowly and steadily in the process in which I chose to wholeheartedly remember things like dolphins breathing for me in other lifetimes of this existence, in trying to come back to Christ consciousness, to the light. Forget about the label. Christ is an honorary title. It's not the name. It's what any of us can become if we go through those steps that have been given to us in all the religious teachings. It would be very good for your soul to understand that they're all saying the same thing, to really, truly understand what God is. And when you have that openness to know that there just might be something you might have missed in the connection process, then you leave yourself open for truth. Otherwise, you're just living in a box. And I'm here to tear your box right open. I'm just going to do it in my loving way, living life. I'm not trying to start some freaking movement of any kind. I'm just awakening out loud and uncovering the gifts that I am out loud, having the cojones to do it, Because a lot of you are realizing there's things changing within you too. And that the things don't feel right and things don't make sense. And you need to not buy into the fear, because that's just keeping you from who you really are, which is love. I'm a messenger of love for sure. Anybody that knows me knows that. I love you guys.